We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about altcoins. Is the time now? I think the time is now that altcoins will go into the green and will perform better and better, maybe with a quick pause in September, but overall, altcoins are gearing up for a massive move, and today we'll have in the spotlight Ecomi, of course, because it's absolutely bananas what is going on, and we will have CRO, Crypto.com, and also Aave to talk about a little bit, as these coins are moving, but also they might have more in front of them, and sometimes it's also interesting to know why. But of course, as always, we are going to talk much about Ecomi and Vivi, so make sure to stay all the way through. So good morning to each and every one of you. We see a lot of excited rare hodlers in the house. Bodo, Troy Paris, what is going on? And Adam also here. Good to see you. Good to see you also, Mastered Man. Hello PH. GM all. Feels weird to have Omi up, says Bodo. Troy Paris says yes. Giant green candles. GMPH, good morning to you. Crow back to $1. Yeah, we are going to talk about it. There is a big fat partnership for Crow, but what we see here is Bitcoin right now, and I just want to highlight that there could be a little bit more pain ahead, as we do have this this range here with a little bit of a head and shoulderish pattern that broke out, bearish retest, and it seems if we do not today come back into that range and declare this a fake out, then we might have a more to the downside action into September, which could happen. There's no guarantees that it doesn't happen, so this could rip down the market in the red for some time, but not too much. We do have GDP growth coming up tomorrow, which could turn things around anyways. And the rest doesn't matter of the economic data, but GDP growth would be interesting to see. Puka Jotrich, morning brothers, morning PH, good to see you. Divine the Thing as well, nice. Mark is also here. Omi is really looking nice. We'll go jump directly into the altcoins. No macro shenanigans today. And we do see on the day, Crow is just starting to pump like hell. We do have, if we look on the weekly, we do have Aave up a little bit. I want to talk about that. We do have OKB non-stop, right? So we will see a little bit what is happening. Maybe adding OKB here to the full picture of coins that are moving. But this is exactly what happens in the beginning of such an altcoin season. Usually more the big caps, but somehow Omi wants to move big time. And I think this has more to do with accessibility than anything else. We do see that actually Bitcoin dominance didn't really move. So these coins are basically probably making up for exuberant downsides before, right? Yeah, we do have as a first coin, we do have CRO to look at, as we are going here. Wait, is that Cronos? Yeah, it's called Cronos right here. There we see it. We are breaking out of something like this. If you want to put it like this, right? Some rising whatever wedge thingy. Maybe you could call it cup handle, shoulders, whatever. It's not really clear, but it goes big nuts. And especially today, I will show you why. 195% pump. So everyone who's in CRO, congratulations. The reason for this is this. Today is historic day for CRO. Trump Media Group, a CRO strategy, has announced $6.4 billion in funds to build America's Cronos treasury. At closing, Trump Media Group CRO Strategies expected to be the world's largest holder of CRO. Read the press release for more information on the proposed business combination and important info about York, Rep York, and whatever, right? So that's the news. Here we also see it once again. We're excited to share that Crypto.com and Trump Media have partnered to make CRO a utility token of the Truth social platform. In line with the partnership, Trump Media will purchase approximately 105 million in CRO for its balance sheet. 685 million CRO. Yeah. Sorry, billion. Am I stupid? 685 million CRO, right? That's what it says here. But Troy says 6.42 billion CRO treasury. Now I'm confused, but I think it's 685 million. If they themselves posted, they should know. Who holds CRO? Actually, some people that are watching hold CRO, and I know that some people also in the Ecomi VV fam have CRO. So it's obviously cool. I personally don't hold it, but I'm happy for everyone who makes gains here. So it's always good to see. I mean, I hate when the sentiment is that no one walked away with profits. Now is the time to make up the losses and get into profit zone. So this is what's happening to CRO, and by far we are not out of this. I would say now is where you encounter massive resistance. If you look at this here, right? Or you're pushing through massive resistance, I would rather say, where you have these touch points, and then you are already through this line here, right? You basically have these highs. Actually, this was the bigger resistance, I would argue, for CRO here. Then here you have here noisy area, here you have reaction, here you have pushback into bear market. Here you have a fake out, here you have resistance. So this was the big resistance. And then here maybe we'll encounter some, but we're already through it. So the sky is open for CRO. And the question is, well, back to all-time high is still a 4x, right? So if that would be the case, that would be pretty nice. And the fundamentals with what we have right now are pretty big, right? But we see already how much it is worth to accumulate in a bear market territory, right? In an accumulation zone once it's in the bear market, right? In this all of this zone, and it feels so bad when you buy into the move and it comes back down, and you buy into move, it comes back down, but in the end, we're back here, and then now the question is, is it already go time, or will we stay a little bit here and then it's go time, right? That is the question, right? It already feels like go time because CRO is the candle is getting bigger and bigger here, 43% on the day, but yeah, so far so good. Then we have Aave, and Aave has not broken out yet. Aave looks nice, but this is why I want to show this to you. It came up here, it did a 3x, just from, and also look at bear market bottom. Like people said, Aave is dead all this way. Like imagine buying Aave here all this time at around 60, 50, whatever, and against all the FUD, right? This massive zone is from June 22 until July 24, 2 years of accumulation zone in one range for Aave. And now it's up to $300, right? So now it's 330 and it's not even broken out of pattern, right? So what we have here is massive cup and handle forming, not confirmed, and some way to go until the breakout. So Aave could be a play even to make some gains. And then from a potential breakout to the all-time high, it would be, to the high that this chart offers, so to say. From back then, that would be only double, right? Plus whatever it can do in the end. But just to highlight here that Aave goes. Why is Aave in the green? Well, Aave is going up in terms of TVL. It crossed 70 billion in total value locked. TVL is a very important metric, especially in DeFi plays, especially in lending protocols and so on. So we do see it now holds 38% of Arbitrum's DeFi TVL. Controls 80% of non-chain lending. If it were a US bank, it would rank among the top 50 by deposits ahead of giants like Deutsche Bank and Barclays. DeFi isn't just competing with TradFi anymore, it's catching up fast, right? This is also what we said a couple of days ago, that with Ethereum pumping, we expect DeFi to be the next in line to have good performance, and we do see that it's somehow true. We also see here 3 out of the 8 biggest DeFi apps by TVL are lending protocols. Aave, Spark, and Morpho. Lido, EtherFi, and Eigenlayer Ethena are largely boosted with looping on lending protocols. We do see that TVL-wise, Aave is by far the biggest. And then we see Lido, Eigenlayer here below. We see Binance Staked ETH, EtherFi, Ethena, Spark, and Morpho in the list. But you see how TVL also is like super important. I think that's something to keep in mind. And it's actually something what also is going to be interesting for other chains, for layer ones. Because when these DeFi plays, when they exploded, I think after that it could be already time for a move in the layer ones, right? In the L ones. Let's see. Like the classical traditional L ones, right? But let's see. We do have a lot of green in the market. Today is more recovery. If we look on the week, it's still mixed, right? We have OKB. OKB is like, it's not okay. No one is okay anymore. This is completely outrageous. Look at the volume under this on the weekly chart. Now it's correcting big time, but this has been roughly a 6x move within 2 weeks. So this can happen to whatever. This can happen to your coin, right? If your coin is down, this can happen, right? You want a 6x? Maybe, right? And we did talk about actually, I don't know why this doesn't show my indicators, but doesn't matter, right? We did talk about that it could be a good time. Somewhere here, around this time of 200, we talked about it could be a good time to lock in profits. We don't know if it can go more, but we see long wicks. We did see the RSI completely overbought in the 90 range, so that is a clear sign that it is good to take some profits there, right? Okay, so that for OKB. We do see Solana up a little bit. I think that is the next thing to look at. And then we are going to look at Ecomi as well. Solana is up, but Solana is still in this accumulation range, right? It's still in this let's break the previous all-time high and go completely bananas range. And then, you know, everything that's built on Solana is probably going nuts, especially memes and so on, once Solana is going. So be prepared for that as well. Yeah. Pukal Leutrich says, yeah, I used to hold it for a long time, probably CRO, and swapped it at the lows after I saw they diluted the supply, but I had a small bag anyway from my CRO card that I used back in the day. Good to hear. Hey, Patrick Boltman, another rare hodler in the house, even though the name is not showing up in green. Solana is also forming this, right? A little bit clumsy of a cup and handle, but it is forming that. And if we are going out of the logarithmic, we can even place a measured move on this. Since we do have this touch point here, we can do it. And that would be in the least conservative way. If we were to break this, it would give us a $500 Solana, okay? Yeah, so I would say with the conservative discount, a 490 Solana would be the time where I would definitely say target reached, right? So this, we are going to mark this, but this requires a breakout. This requires a breakout. We are going to place this here on 490. This requires a breakout, a confirmation of this level, right? This level here that we see as the box here. We need the breakout. We still have a gap to close here, and this coincides with everything that we also see on TOTAL3 and below, that the other altcoins, especially everything non-Ethereum and so on, they have to do some catch up before they even can come close to the breakouts, right? So this is something to see. But we do have Radium also already going with Solana, as you see this, right? Solana pumps, Radium will pump harder. We do see VeChain recovering also, 7.5%. We do see that VeChain is constantly sitting on top of its range. Here, but also like big fat accumulation going on here. In all of this range was basically a accumulation with some moves to the upside, right? But VeChain is still sitting in that, and once it's time for RWA and so on, VeChain is going to do explosive moves. We do see, and this is something super specific to VeChain. VeChain doesn't do anything until it's go time, right? This was last bull run, and then it's over, right? The moment that VeChain goes para and goes completely overbought in like weekly, monthly, right? So here we have weekly overbought 90. That's it, right? Then it's already over. It's not like other coins that do and then consolidate. 1 second to show you. It's not like other coins that go and consolidate and then the next go, right? VeChain is nothing, boom, and then it's over, right? So that is what we have to keep in mind, right? These blips here, they don't even count. Everything that happens in this range here is basically like warm up. But you see here, VeChain last time, VeChain went from, I don't know, 30, 40x to that upside. So that I expect VeChain to just at some point just start moving and never going back. But that would be in the midst of the altcoin season probably. So VeChain also not bearish, right? It's holding its support, looks nice, and that's it. But okay, let's go to Omi. And I hope I opened the stuff. I don't know if I opened the stuff that I wanted to show, but if not, I will do it a little bit later. On Ecomi, right? For Omi, we're on the 4 hourly. It doesn't look like it, but we're on a 4 hourly chart only. But I did not expect that the price turns around at 0003 on the 4-hourly and comes back up and puts in a new local high here at 0057, right? So massive buying came in once more, and did lead to another green candle. And this is something that we are not used to from Ecomi anymore, right? We do have daily candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green daily candles in the row. Of course, we are getting selling action because many people are suddenly in profit, as they have been DCAing all the way down. So basically, let's mark this here. I want to show you something, especially the ones that are running around on Twitter telling people that DCA'd that they are stupid. I want to show you something. You take this where we are right now, right? So this guy, whoever DCA'd, he could come in and sell now, right? So you agree with that. 1 second, I show you here. Okay, so here is the candle, right? And now we go back to where the price action was at this level. Oh, that was here, right? So everyone who DCA'd in this time is in profit, not even break even, right? I mean, of course, depends on how much you bought before also, right? But just saying that whoever bought massive allocation here is now in profit, okay? So there are people running around that are coping now, and they can't have Omi believers to win. And I was not the one. I told everyone already, like back then, from here, from up this level, I'm not buying, right? I'm not buying, I'm waiting, I'm looking at this, and I want to see this breakout, okay? This is happening right now. I still believe that we could get a September retracement somewhere into this 0002 level back here. We could. No guarantees, right? That would for me, so a technical structure that says, okay, we have a reversal here, that would for me be the time to go in. From my perspective, that is still smart because I did not buy all the stuff here to the downside, but I'm still better than if I had bought all these entries here at 001, right? So I can still buy now. I'm buying still better, right? Even if I buy this top here, or whatever that is, maybe not a top, right? But we are at an RSI of 92 right now on the daily. So naturally, we expect a correction down on top of these levels, and that would be for me where I want to go in. Okay, so Omi believer, I couldn't leave her if I tried. Yeah, exactly. But don't fall in love with the bag. You know, you can fall in love with Omi, but not with the bag, because you need to take profit at some point, right? But okay, now on a weekly basis, we are coming into overbought territory, but technically there is still room to go, right? Because we do see, and this is where we would still, I mean, this level is crucial, right? This level where we are hitting our head right now is the previous support, multi-year support that we had here, right? Or it's close to that at least, yeah? So I would love to see something where we, maybe not that long, right? Correct, go, consolidate, come up, test, backtest, consolidate, come up, backtest, and boom, massive go time, right? But we do have time, more time to do this. We have time to correct a full month or something. It doesn't matter, right? We have time. We see how hard Omi can move out of a sudden. What's really nice to see, I highlight this since it started. You guys remember, if you're subscribed, you remember. We do see massive volume here, and we are now finally allowed to place our next whale, because we do see our whales to make a move. We did see the whales to making a move. It's right here. Massive green candle, massive breakout. We did see our whales to make a move. Now is the question, will the whales make another move on the top side? We will see, right? We will see. But we have it right now. Our whales come in and make a move, right? Let's see what the move is. Should I sell my CRO and get back in under 0.2? I can tell you that, David. I can tell you. That's something for you to decide. I mean, you've seen the chart, but I strongly believe that there will be some sort of general market correction in September that could be a little bit ugly, so to say, right? It could be ugly. The market likes to grind out the patience of people, right? Everyone thinks now, yes, it's go time. Now all the altcoins firing, bam, green, OKB, CRO, somewhere I'm in profit. Next week, boom, everything 20% down, right? The market likes to play these games before they really go, and everyone's like, oh my god, it's already falling. Then there are some fathers in the market that said Bitcoin tops out, altcoin season over, everyone will that scares out retail people from the market. They will sell their coins, and then the real run happens, right? So this is obviously we are educated. We don't do this, right? Yeah, it's a dangerous game to play. Exactly, I would say, yeah, it's a dangerous game to play because prices can run away from you, right? In my opinion, it's better to position into a coin that hasn't gone up yet instead of chasing green candles. Just because they got their news, right? So sell the news is coming at some point, right? So CRO got their news with Trump media. Aave has better setup because it's just a technical pattern that's probably going to break, right? But there are so many coins that are just down. No one cares right now, but they will pump. Next week, we will see 4 other big bubbles here on the weekly, or maybe one of the same, who knows, right? But we see CRO, it's go time, right? So this is always a dangerous game. But overall, we see the market is looking nicely. So how is the market really looking? Let's check this out. TOTAL2. We have a candle close above. You see this, right? Let me shrink this down so you have the full picture. The TOTAL2 is forming the largest fat big ass cup and handle that I've seen in a long time. And everyone is like, when I made the video about the candle close outside of a weekly candle, people were like, this didn't age well, yeah. Right? Because on the daily, on their 4-hourly, on their 5-minute chart, the price came back down here, right? It's like, oh my god, I said, first of all, we can get rejected. Secondly, if I show you something on the weekly chart, then we want to consider the next candle also on the weekly chart, right? Please. What does that mean? We have 4 days, 19 hours left to close also this candle up this level here. We need to basically go 0.01 trillion up, and that's it, right? That's what we need in 4 days. That's like measuring the lawn after I don't know, and they'd be like, 1 millimeter off, you didn't do it right? You know, like, let's see how this candle closes. Yeah, it's not like nothing happened yet. Nothing happened yet, right? Let's wait and see. Even a fake out will not scare me, because this pattern is, in my opinion, more likely than not going to play out with this price action. We only need a couple of percent upside from Ethereum, and you are out here, right? Then if if you are out here, like you go 0.01 trillion topping up, you suddenly do not have a fake back into this, you suddenly have a retest. And then everyone gets excited again. So this is, that's that. TOTAL3. I can't stress anymore. But people want to see the negative. And you need to be very, very careful, right? There are people that sold all of their altcoins because they believed Il Crypto Capo. They believed Father XYZ on the market that said this time there will be no altcoin season. They sold all of their altcoins in deep loss. And now they're fudding every move because they would not be able to live with themselves if this market goes vertical and they are sitting there with their dick in their hand, right? It's just, that is the reason. The same goes for Omi. Although I did not buy millions of Omi, which I could have, should have, maybe couldn't have because of wedding and so on. But anyways, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, hopefully it goes down so everyone gets wrecked, right? No, I have my millions of Omi, my 4 or 5 millions of Omi, right? And I'm hoping that it goes to the moon. And I'm very, very happy for everyone who DCA'd here because I know that this feels really, really good right now. In fact, most of the people are either already back to break even or they are slightly below that or whatever, right? But this feels really, really nice. And if people are winning, that's awesome. That's really great, right? Because then we did something right here, sitting in our altcoins, right? But there are people sitting down there in Twitter that see negativity everywhere. Remember, 12k Bitcoin, 12k, sell your Bitcoin at 15k, it's going to 12k. What now? They missed the train of a 7x Bitcoin move, right? Yeah, like the crypto savvies of this world that are seeing in every dip that Bitcoin does, they see the end of the financial system as we know it. They see the financial crisis all over again, 1929, right? And what now? And then the same people, remember? Triple top at 70k. Now we're at 100. Now people are fudding at 111,000. And then the narrative of, this is an institutional cycle, there will be no altcoin season. Okay, good. Yeah, if you say so. Yeah, it's the same, but when the market is red, the same FUD doesn't feel the same. Suddenly, when the market is red, your brain starts thinking about, does this guy have a point? Does he know something? Has he seen some evidence? I need to click this right now. The next financial crisis, what do you mean? I saw this company in my town go bankrupt, so it must be true. Yeah. We are then way more sensitive to our cognitive biases, like confirmation bias, for example, right? So you hear one thing, one FUD, and suddenly the next thing that you see is confirming that, right? So it can be one small thing, right? It can be that David Hughes says something, right? You read an Omi FUD before, and then David Hughes says something, and suddenly these two things connect. Confirmation bias spirals out of control, and suddenly you find yourself in a problem. Or you see that there's not going to be an altcoin season, and then next day the altcoin market goes down 5%, or PPI rises 3%, same thing, right? So I think this time where we're in right now is the best thing to untrain these biases, right? Because it doesn't make sense from some perspective. Like we see credit card delinquencies, student loan delinquencies, all-time high in the US. So technically you would say, man, people are fucked. Where would they have money from to go into crypto? At the same time, you see CRO pumping like hell, OKB going 6x, You saw meme shitcoin. I tell you what, people will always have money for gambling. Always. It's crazy. By the way, David teased Dragon Ball again. Yes, I saw. We're going to, let's see. I forgot to open up this stuff here on my Twitter, but by the way, follow me on Twitter. I announce when I go live. By the way, this is also, right? This is like, when it's green, this is really what happens, not only for Bitcoin, but everything, right? I'm an idiot. Why didn't I buy? This is exactly what people felt right now when they saw OKB or CRO or whatever, right? Why am I not in this coin? Let me buy something of this coin, right? And then this coin, after pumping, goes down 30%, and you could enter it then, right? And it's like, I'm not buying that shit. And with Omi, it was extreme, right? Because with Omi, it was like, this happened over and over again. Like here, right? See all the spikes, like, I'm an idiot, why didn't I buy? And then I'm not buying that shit. And I'm an idiot when I'm not buying that shit. And now why? I'm an idiot, why didn't I buy? And probably when this thing comes down, whatever, like let's say we go back down to, that's a 48% correction if we go back down to 0028 or whatever. Then it's like, I'm not buying that shit. Shitcoin is going down. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Even the poorest people gamble a lot. Exactly. So the argument of people don't have money, hence there is no bull run, is absolutely not valid. People will have FOMO, and it doesn't matter. They will tap into their last fun pocket, whatever. They will tap into credit. They will mortgage their house if they have to, just to ape into some crypto coins if they see them pump. If they see that there is, basically it's like, this here is like lottery made visible, right? Because you see that had I put in, and this is nothing, right? I mean, we do see here, right? 3x. Had I put in $1,000 in this, I would have $4,000 now, right? That's what people see. And this is nothing yet. In the massive, exuberant, parabolic late stage of the altcoin run, these bubbles will be on a 1,000% or 2,000% or 10,000% bubbles here on these on these charts, right? Some of them. Others will be like 50, 100%, and so on. So people will look at this like, fuck, I could have become, like, with only $1,000, I could have become this and that and whatever. Or with only $10,000, right? Let me sell my cat. I don't know, right? People will do the weirdest shit. So they will have money. There will be liquidity. Yeah, and I think this is what is going to happen. Especially when in September the rates come down, credit card loan rates, auto loan rates, everything, like rates will come down. People will refinance their debt to lower rates. Then they will feel more comfortable, and then they will be, okay, then I don't have to repay the debt, right? Right now it's only going on 1% now or whatever, right? So let me buy some altcoins here. Let's get rich together, right? That will be the thinking, right? And this is where I say be very careful, because your mind is a very, very, very powerful tool. And your mind is like, not your intuition, but your mind is also going to, and I'm talking about the mind, like this little monkey that constantly is chatting, is like the worst advisor ever. If that was a real person, you would fire it, and you would probably beat it up, like big time, for everything that it told you, right? You would probably, if that was a friend, it would not be your friend anymore. But with our mind, somehow we're listening constantly to it. It's like the shittiest, advisor and friend that you could have. But we're constantly listening to it. But it's the somehow, I read a book about this, and someone that author said, and it was really good, it's the best soap opera writer in the world, the mind, right? Of like one stupid situation can create the biggest drama in the world. Yeah. So I think we need to really, this is why we need to make a plan before, because our mind is like, let's say VeChain, right? We go back to 8 cents and we have a plan to take 10% of our bag at 8 cents. And then our mind is like, but man, imagine it does a 10x from here and you didn't take the 10% off. How much money more that would be, right? So it gets greedy at that point, right? And then then you leave it in and it confirms itself at 16 cents. It's like, see, we're fucking genius that we left all the money in there. Let's leave it to 20 cents. And then you come to 20 cents and you confirm yourself again. It's like, see? And then it goes to, I don't know, 30 cents. And it's like, man, we are so rich. Take screenshot. And then boom, right? The next candle goes down. It's like, oh my God, I should have. Why didn't I? Or even worse, buying there. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on this. Oops, man, I don't want to delete my targets. There we go, right? So I'm definitely not going to wait with my full bag until some Moonboy target at 45 cents is complete. Or even worse, the people that are calling for $20 VeChain. What the fuck? I can't even zoom to there, right? So that's, yeah. No one ever became poor by taking profits. And this is, I want you, just as an experiment, when you look at charts, to put the sell, where could I sell and be happy with the profits glasses on, right? So for example, you look at OMI and you be like, okay, my average is, let's just assume my average is 001, okay? So where do I take 10%? Like, let's say 0019, I take 10%, right? So that needs to be a set in stone plan. No matter what happens, how good the news are, how much Dragon Ball is teased, and if Pokemon is at the horizon, that I'm just fictitious, right? It can be that you say, no, fuck that, I'm going to take, but the plan needs to stand now, right? You can also say this is where I take 30% or so, right? Here. And then I see if there's new all-time high or not. Yeah? But the plan needs to stand now. Not, let me make a plan once the Lambo is secure. And then the plan can factor in if I see overbought in the 90s on a weekly, that's where I take profit. That can also be a plan, right? If I see 90, no matter where the price is, I take profit. 10% or whatever, right? Or 50% or everything, right? Who knows? Just don't hold it for another 4 years. My take on that. What's going on in the top 100 to 200? Oh yeah, we wanted to look at actually we wanted to look at before into Ecomi. So what we did see is really nice. Ecomi was actually leading by volume on yesterday, and I don't know how it's today, but it seems to be even more. So Ecomi had a 724% increase in the volume. The trading volume was insane, 20 million, I think, or so. This is really, really good, because this will have exchanges look at, hey, can we list this thing? Should we list this thing? This thing looks good for listing, right? And suddenly no one says anymore, hey, no one's going to list this, right? By the way, here, there we go. There we go. So that's good for the trading volume. Let's see. Ecomi is about to break back into the top top 300, right? Not much is missing for Omi to reappear in the top 300. This is very important because the more you are in higher brackets, the more attention you get. The more attention you get, the more people will buy this thing. So that's really good, right? Look at this. Daily trading volume, $37 million. Absolutely nuts. At only 126 million market cap. That is nothing. It just went 238 ranks up. Right? Look at this wild swings, almost 50% swings within 2 days, right? Massive buying and selling. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Really, Omi is an absolute monster mover coin when it moves. But when it doesn't move, even on the year, you are profitable now, right? 6.4%, better than some other coins. Suddenly, after so much FUD. I remember Omi in the top 50 or top 30 in the last bull market. It was. It had a $1 billion market cap, and that could happen again, right? Like 1.5 billion is absolutely nothing unachievable for most coins, right? Subfam, Subtroy, hey Mewtwo, what's going on? Protagonist says IOTA built for AI agents and WEF plug-in PLI next chain link. Wow. Yeah. Maybe, potentially. Algorand and IOTA next for Treasury. Yeah, that could be happening. Absolutely. They are also this ISO, I don't know what, certified coins. Omi, and I think this is what we are going to see next. If Omi keeps this up for a little bit longer, we're probably going to see some exchange listings. We are on Maxi, Gate.io, Bitmart, OKX. The volume is happening on OKX. Plus, you can buy it on Coinbase Wallet and on Coinbase DEX and on Robinhood Wallet. You can technically buy it, but it's not like the official listing. So whatever exchange logos come in here, like if you're an exchange and you see these coins go nuts, you want to list them, right? Because you absorb instant community. Especially if you're a more established exchange, you want to list these coins, right? And then, like all these YouTubers that know Ecomi from the last, like Cryptos Are Us, they will look into the pumpers, what's pumping. People will talk about in their chats about it. This is just good for attention. So I would even argue it's good that Ecomi has a move early already, so that people can talk about it, that when everything goes ballistic, it already has new buyers. Yeah. So there are good things coming together for Omi. Let's see here. Bitwise files for Chainlink ETF. That was also something that I retweeted here. I saw this. This was really nice. But let's see what's going on in the Ecomi chat. In the Ecomi Twitter. Oh yeah. Here, hey, Bybit official, check these stats out, Omi the exclusive, utility, blah, blah. Let's see if this helps, but it has some up likes already. The highest ROI crypto token in 2021 was Omi. So it's poised better than every other to skyrocket. We see it here also, right? In 2021, Omi hit 1.2 cents in only 1 month. I'm not saying that this is going to happen now, but it could be happening in the run. Like back to 1.2 cents is not impossible, given that technically you have a better chance to be listed on way more exchanges right now. If the narrative comes in nicely together, then we will see all of that, right? So a lot of people talking bullishly about Ecomi. Yeah. and this is before David Yu announces Super Saiyan Goku, God Goku. There was a post from David Yu, or actually from someone else, but David Yu. Hello. What do I have to put in for the? There it is, right? That's official David Yu. There are some fake David Yus also, but we did see him reply to this. There it is. So in the background of David's video was the small Goku, right? And so Asa says here, by the way, this guy is super giga bullish all the time. Did anyone else notice Goku on the last interview? And then David himself says, yes, I noticed. So he's teasing a little bit here, as he always likes to do. But you have to say one thing. When he was teasing in a bear market, no one liked it. Like, people were mad. I was even mad at this sometimes. And now, obviously, everyone will like it. So now teasing is good. So I think this is also something to learn. Like, for David, but for the others, like, teasing in bear market, not so good. Teasing in bull market, very good, right? So there we go. Like, I will retweet this. We want Dragon Ball, David. That's for sure. If you, let's say Ecomi goes like 5-6x, does the OKB Mega God candle, everyone goes exuberant, and then into that they announce Vivi tied to this has Goku blind box drop with whatever Vegeta and all these others in it. Then I think that will raise some serious attention to Vivi as well, right? And then the user numbers for Vivi, they will then go up big time as well. Let's see here what's happening with Vivi numbers. Vivi numbers a little bit, not so extreme yet. People are someone bought a partner statue 8 minutes ago. Are floor prices increasing? I don't know. I did not check. But yeah. So some people are still getting gold logos. There cannot be There cannot be that many gold logos left. I don't know if there are even like left. I don't know. But there are only 500 of those, so I don't know. 250,000? Oh, this bottle sold for $250,000 in 2011. In 1915, Coca-Cola held a contest to design a bottle so unique it could be recognized by touch. Early art Dean's. This bottle, by the way, for everyone who's not familiar, just dropped on Vivi. It's a 1 of 1. So this, maybe you don't achieve 250,000, but this collectible could be really worth something. Some level 100s. Yeah, this is the special edition on Vivi. 1 of 1 Hobble skirt, empty bottle. So that, I like this because these guys from Comics and Crypto, they always put out some background regarding the collecting of this stuff, right? So this is good. By the way, in 2023 and 2024, we did hear a lot of the negative people, like really negative people, not like me criticizing sometimes, right? But really negative people saying that Coca-Cola and Disney and everyone else is going to walk away from Vivi. And we do see that this is not the case. They did not walk away from Vivi, none of them. In fact, they have new drops coming in, like these Coca-Cola bottles. So it's very likely going to be a bad awakening for some people when they see that they have been wrong on everything they said, right? Everything they said. That's going to be a big fat awakening for people that said that Omi is dead, that Vivi is going to be. There was someone retweeted a post from 2024 where the guy said Vivi will close their doors until December 2025, and then even like screenshot this or bookmark this. I bookmarked it, I think. So I will pull it up in December 2025, just to see how ridiculous some predictions are. And people really want, like, there are people that want to see Vivi close shop. Yeah. They don't give them out anymore, like in the beginning when you could just be a lucky dude asking, "Hey David, can I have a logo?" Yeah, exactly. That you need to do something for that, like, I don't know, community work or something. Wish they would give us some more Cartoon Network drops or something. Need some fresh or exciting IP. I think they have something in the pipeline. I think they have Dragon Ball. I do think they have something. I do even think they have something with Pokemon, which is not the trading cards. I do think they have something with trading cards, which could be Yu-Gi-Oh! So I think they have something saved for when times are massive, exciting. Something will come out, something big that they can play. I think they have it. They have something of that. Maybe not everything, but I think they have something of that. One Piece would be, for me, would be the thing. One Piece. Let's see. How do we sell our Sesame Street NFTs for Omi? It says on Stacker can only available on No, you have to go into the Vivi app and then you list for sale, but then you don't list for gems, but you list for Omi tokens. I don't know if it's possible on the mobile phone, but I think so. If not, try on the Vivi web app. I need some money. I'm selling one testicle. Good work. God. No. Nah. Don't sell organ. What the heck, man? Organ selling? There must be like 50 other ways of selling a testicle. Oh my God. Guys, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. And then it's like, oh, this was such a good idea. Confirmation bias kicking in. Sold for $3,000. Look at this also. The Buzz Lightyear Common Mint, 1995, sold on Vivi for $3,000. Congratulations to buyer and seller. Listen, for a dead project, for a dead company, there are some pretty serious sales happening on digital toy, right? I mean, these guys are awesome. Yeah. This channel is nice. They are doing great. So yeah. They are posting here from time to time when and where and what. They have a bounty, by the way, on the 1916 mint. And oh, by the way, this is also going on, right? That people that are new to this, they can scan the QR code and they receive $10 free on Vivi, which they can then use to buy, for example, this Coca-Cola Common for $150 or so on the floor, right? But this, I really like this this channel from Comics and Crypto for whatever news on collectibles. Sometimes it's just insane because they post like this and that collectible has sold for $100,000 or something like that, right? That's really, really good. Really, really, really good. Yeah. Let's see what you guys have to say still. The best question for David, a question nobody ever freaking asks, is how many brands do you have contracts with that have yet to release anything? He will not tell. I think the question can be asked, but he will not tell. I mean, that's like asking a company how how many products you have in development and what the market potential is, right? Why would you give your competition any insight into that? And then also there's a little bit so what we know is, and what they do right, sometimes they close a contract like 3 years ago, and today only they launched the first collectible. They have asked, he always answers a lot. Yeah, but I think he never gave a number, like we have total 120 brands and so on, right? But I think they have always a bigger backlog. But they also have contracts on the drops. So I think they have contracts on how many Marvel comics they have to issue every week. They have contracts with Disney and there's umbrella brands to when and how they're going to launch Star Wars drops. So I think they have a big funnel of stuff like that. I hope they are doing again things like cinema and movie posters, where when you go to the cinema, that you can get and redeem this movie poster then on VV. I think they should do frequent stuff out of this. As long as they never tease something like VV City, branded IP, worlds, gamification, etc. without having the ability to deliver, I'm good. Forgiven once. It's not about that. I think the problem is they get excited about things that they are building in the background, and then they talked about it, and then they see that it's way more difficult to implement this, or that it gets massive delays because something isn't working. And they did a lot wrong with that, right? So with regards to here, David and so on, I think they learned from this, but they did a lot wrong in the sense that they talked about stuff like branded worlds when their app wasn't running smoothly. And I think that got people anti-excited, so to say, because you want to have that the basic things done before you talk about branded worlds and land sales and so on. But that's fine, right? That's okay, because sometimes we do see, for example, this Omi to Jam and so on, right? The whole mechanic that now Omi is being burned, and there is some nice burns right now going on for Omi. That was promised a while ago, then it was off the table, then it was back on the table, and so on. So we do see sometimes things have been teased 4 years ago, and now it's happening, right? So I think probably the community has a little bit of PTBS on promises, but if they do it just as they do right now, they don't tease it anymore in that sense, but they bring it out. I think at some point there will be forgiveness in the community that criticized but still stood to them. There are people beyond any, how do you say, what is the English word for that? Beyond, is it reconciliation or something like that? I don't know. But anyways, like that, there will be people that even if you bring Pokemon, the full Ecomi mechanics and everything, they will not talk good again about Omi, right? That happens, right? My bro, price prediction on Chrono, back to all-time high. Back to all-time high for Chrono. At least, yeah. At least. Troy Perez says, I think the idea of VVverse is still a great idea, but I think we are off by a few years before this can be what we thought it would be. There are many other companies trying to do the same thing with about the same traction, meaning not a lot. I think the VVverse is important for everyone who's hardcore into VV collectibles, right? So it's not for the masses yet. Maybe it will never be, who knows? But it's important that people who really want to build things with with the collectibles, that they have a playground where they can get visibility, play around. It was easier to use, right? It's not everyone has to use the Weaververse, right? But the Vaultaholics and everyone that we saw, it's better to have the Weaververse for them. So for everyone who wants to, I think it's a good thing that the Weaververse is there, but it should not. We should not have the expectation that this is going to be the metaverse, Ready Player One, where everyone plays in, right? It's just not. There are many other companies. I always compare it to how long it takes for the next Fallout game to come out. It's been generations that game has been around, and it still takes 5 to 8 years from the next one to come out. Yeah, exactly. By the way, I just started watching the TV show, or like the TV series for Fallout. Just funny that you mention it right now. Don't sleep on PLI plugin from XDC. Okay, not sleeping on it. Tectonic will do better than CRO, if you say so. But yeah, what Troy Paris says is something like building a game is a monster job. I think if Vivi and like Vivi Ecomi, the combo, does very well this bull run, and there are massive gains for the company, then they could outsource, let's say, the next iteration of Weaververse or whatever to a AAA game design studio, right? Ideally, what I would do, and now I'm going completely degenerate nuts, right? But what I would do for if I was them, and I would, let's say you have spare 100 million or whatever, right? What I would do is I would look for the guys who built a World of Warcraft vanilla version, right? See where they're working right now. See if they're freelancers, whatever. I would try to get as many of them as possible and tell them, and give them money and tell them, build something, put passion into it, with storyline and everything, like NPCs, whatever. Be yourself like you were in World of Warcraft 1 and have them design the world for the Weaververse. Because if you look at World of Warcraft vanilla, from a social standpoint and from a discover nice beautiful world standpoint, that was as good as it gets with minimal graphics. So you didn't have to overload PC and so on, right, for that. What did we spend time in this World of Warcraft vanilla world, continent, whatever, right? Holy moly. Just because there were small things to see, discover, and play around with, right? The TV show's pretty good for Fallout. Yeah, I think so too. Some things I don't like, but overall, it's good story to watch. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would try to find some of these guys, throw money at them, and say, "Look, man, play around, play with the collectibles. Also, if you're a fan, see what you can do. Put together a team and build something absolutely unique." And then you can even market that and say, our world is being worked on by X Blizzard, whatever, right? You can even market that. There was an argument for GFall, Games for a Living, right? They pumped on that news alone, they pumped. And then, even you can also find people that build, man, what was the name of that other MMO RPG? Well, it doesn't matter. I don't remember. Guys, that's it for today. We're 1 hour and 10 minutes. I always get messages like, your streams and videos are way too long, but man, what the heck. So, anyways, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. By the way, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on. We will be here reporting on the cycle, but for now, that's it. Have a great day, everyone, and bye.